Napoleon Bonaparte's life was filled with great adventure. When he was born in Corsica in 1769, the doors to an undiscovered future had already swung wide open for him. From a young age, Napoleon received military training and swiftly joined the army, quickly rising through the ranks. The French Revolution erupted during his youth, shaping his ideals as he was influenced by the revolutionary ideas and harbored anger towards the society's old feudal structure, fueling his desire to change that order. The new military opportunities brought about by the French Revolution also played a pivotal role in his ascent. Napoleon's victories in Italy showcased his military brilliance and strategic prowess. At the outset of the Italian campaign in 1796, he defeated the Austrian army at Montenotte, drawing attention to himself and displaying his military skills. In the Battle of Lodi that same year, his army crossed the Adda River and triumphed over the Austrian forces, enabling the French army to advance further into Italy. The conflicts at the battles of École demonstrated the success of the French army under Napoleon's leadership, further solidifying his military genius. The Battle of Rivoli dealt a significant blow to the Austrian army, leading to their loss of control in Italy. These triumphs not only showcased Napoleon's military mastery, but also bolstered his political and military strength. The Italian campaign became a turning point in his career, propelling him to prominence across Europe. Napoleon's Egyptian campaign was a strategic move for the expansion of the French Empire. While he captured Cairo and achieved various successes, the harsh climate, diseases, and local resistance posed challenges. Meanwhile, in 1798, while Napoleon was in Egypt, Admiral Horatio Nelson of the British Navy annihilated the French fleet at the Battle of the Nile. This victory isolated Napoleon in Egypt, cutting off his support. Simultaneously, developments were unfolding in Europe. Political instability surfaced in France, shaking Napoleon's power amidst the growing instability across Europe. The Egyptian campaign, while a significant military success, became a crucial but challenging experience for Napoleon strategically. However, due to various difficulties and the increasing priority of the situation in Europe, he had to depart from this region and return to Europe. The period of instability in France commenced after the end of the monarchy following the French Revolution. The changes brought about by the revolution had profoundly disrupted the country politically, socially, and economically. Various forms of governance were attempted during this period, witnessing multiple changes in political authorities, amidst which Napoleon rose to prominence. Following the revolution, France was governed for a time by a body of 5 individuals known as the Directory. However, instability persisted during this period, leading to increased political upheavals and internal conflicts. In this environment, Napoleon executed the Brumaire coup in 1799, claiming to end France's instability and seize control. This coup overturned the Directory and brought Napoleon to the forefront as the political leader of France. Initially, Napoleon held a brief presidency. However, he swiftly began to demand more power and consolidate his authority. In 1804, Napoleon proclaimed himself the Consul of France, which was a stage before declaring himself emperor. During this period, he and his circle began shaping political and legal structures while consolidating their power. Napoleon conquered or exerted influence over many countries and regions in Europe. He held sway over significant areas of Italy, parts of Austria, and several principalities and cities in Germany. He also managed to gain control over Holland, Belgium, and Switzerland. Napoleon's empire significantly impacted the political balance in Europe. However, his Russian campaign emerged as one of the most crucial and simultaneously destructive campaigns of his empire. Napoleon's decision to invade Russia posed challenges due to Russia's vast geography and strategic difficulties as the winter approached. Russia's retreat strategy exacerbated the French army's issues with supply and sustenance. The advance into Russia collided with severe winter conditions like freezing temperatures and heavy snowfall. Coping with the cold that caused freezing, hunger, and disease proved immensely difficult for his army. The Russian army transitioned to guerrilla warfare, abandoning traditional battle strategies, further weakening Napoleon's army's morale and resources. When Napoleon decided to retreat, his army had suffered significant losses. Hunger, cold, and constant attacks during the retreat drastically diminished his army's strength. Subsequently, allied European forces Austria, Prussia, Russia, and England formed a coalition and declared war against Napoleon. Defeats in various battles like the Battle of Leipzig further diminished Napoleon's power. In 1814, coalition forces entered Paris, dethroned Napoleon, and exiled him to the island of Elba, restoring the Bourbon dynasty to the throne in France. Napoleon escaped from his initial exile on the island of Elba, making strategic moves to return to France. During his time on Elba, he had established limited sovereignty over a small territory, but was actually waiting for an opportunity to return to the French throne. At that time, King Louis XVIII's government in France was caught off guard and unprepared for Napoleon's return. Napoleon's charismatic leadership and military history enabled him to garner strong support in certain regions of France and within the army. Leveraging his popularity among the people and within the military, Napoleon advanced towards Paris and regained power. This period was termed the 100 Days, signifying Napoleon's brief resurgence to power. However, this comeback was short-lived, and the Allied powers regrouped to take action against him, culminating in the Battle of Waterloo. Defeated in this battle as well, Napoleon fled, this time to Britain. The British, to contain Napoleon and his potential political influence, exiled him to a remote island, St. Helena. Many countries in Europe were concerned about the possibility of Napoleon returning to power. His presence held the potential to disrupt the political balance, thus exile was deemed the most appropriate choice. During his time in exile on St. Helena, he led an isolated life far removed from his former glory. His exile significantly diminished his historical and political influence, ultimately leading to his death on the island in 1821. Napoleon embraced many ideas brought forth by the French Revolution and attempted to implement some of them. In terms of legal reforms brought about by the Revolution, he enacted legal reforms known as the Napoleonic Code. These laws replaced the complex and privileged legal system in France with a simpler and fairer one. He also implemented educational reforms that emphasized merit and talent. These reforms, in line with the principle of equality from the Revolution, supported the rise of talented individuals. Through the Concordat Agreement, he reached an understanding with the Catholic Church, ensuring its allegiance to the state while safeguarding its freedom. However, it's challenging to assert that all the principles and ideas brought by the Revolution were fully realized during Napoleon's rule. For instance, his authoritarian style of governance and transition to an imperial system hindered the establishment of the full extent of democratic and libertarian principles brought by the Revolution. Hence, it could be said that while Napoleon was influenced by revolutionary ideas, their complete realization was partially achieved at best.